In this video, we talk about executing for loops in Python. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I'm going to show you a few different instances of how for loops work and when to use for loops and things of that nature, so hopefully you can understand how for loops work and how you could apply them to whatever you're trying to do. So one of the things you use for loops for is for iterating through like a list or a tuple or a dictionary. And if you watch my previous list, dictionary, tuple videos, you saw me iterate through those, but we'll do it again here. So let me go ahead and create a list real quick. I'll create our fruits list. We got apples. I cannot spell apples. I always type applies. Bananas, grapes, oranges, and let's just go with kiwis. All right, if we print fruits. All right, so something funky happened here, and that's because I have fruit here and fruits here, and I've saved fruits before, so let me do that. Okay, there we go. So now we have our list, and it printed out apples, bananas, grapes, oranges, kiwis, and it's printed out as a list. Now, if we want to print the items in our list, we'd use our for loop to iterate through that list and print it out. So to do a for loop, we type in for, and then we have the iteration variable, and typically what you want to do is the single version of whatever name you have as your list. So like I have fruits with an S, whereas for my iteration variable, I'll do fruit. For fruit in fruits, and then use a colon. And then you need to make sure that you are tabbed over. It's 4 spaces, and anything in this area that's tabbed over will execute as part of the for loop. So you can have multiple lines in your for loop. That is no problem at all. And so we'll just do print fruit. So just like that, we basically went through our list here and printed each fruit in our list. So now you see I have a nicely printed list of your fruits here. And just to show you the tabbing situation, let me do print fish. And now you see that since it's tabbed over this print fish line, you see that it printed on every single iteration as well. So we got apples, fish, bananas, fish, grapes, fish, etc. So you might not want fish on every line, so to get it out of the loop, you just space it over, and so it executes the for loop first in its entirety, apples, bananas, grapes, oranges, kiwis, and then you got fish down here, so after it's done going through your list, it goes on to the next line of code that you have set up. Now, one thing you can do with this iteration is to create a brand new list. Like let's say, for example, we have our fruits here and we don't want to touch it and modify it or anything like that because we want it, we want our baseline variable set up, our baseline list. But let's say we want like capital fruits, and we can set this variable up real quick. And what we can do is go ahead and use the append method, capital fruits dot append, and then we got fruit dot upper, and we'll run that real quick, and nothing came out, and that's okay. We'll back out here and print capital fruits. Run it real quick, and boom, just like that, we've created a brand new list called capital fruits, and it has all of our fruits capitalized inside of it, and we could of course do things with that list if we need to. Now, in addition to creating a brand new list, you could also modify a current list. Like let's say you do want all capital letters in your fruits list. You don't want to create a new capital fruits list. You want it all in the baseline fruits list. You're changing that default list to all capitals. You can do that, but in order to do it, you need to use a new function called range. So let's take a few minutes to explore range. So we have for I in range. So the range function goes in your for loop statement right here at the top where you do your for whatever in range. This is where you enter it, and it takes in, or it can take in 3 arguments. You have start, stop, and step. Now they are supposed to be integers, so putting strings in here would not work. But so let me just do 1, 10, and 2, just to show you what happens. Oh, need our colon and print I. So let's see what happens. So basically how range works is the start is where it's going to start. So we got 1. End is where it's going to end. Now note it will end 1 before where you designate. So I'll show you in a second. It's getting kind of funky with this step in here. But step tells us or tells the for loop to skip. So you see that we're only doing the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, up to 10. So if we remove the step real quick, let's see what pops out. So we have 1 through 9. So if you remember, or you've seen any of the other videos, remember Python starts with a 0 index, and that's essentially what it's meaning right here. So it's going to start at whatever we do here, and then it does not include the last number. So if you want to go 1 to 10, you'd put an 11 here. And also, if you just leave one argument in here, that's going to be the stopping point. So if you enter 10 right here, you'll see that it iterates through 0, which is the index, index base 0, index 0 through 9. So that's a quick overview of the range function, and we're going to use it right now as well, so you'll see it some more as we do an example where we update this list here. So for I in range, and I'm going to use the len function and fruits. So real quick, the len function shows us the length of our list. So let's print it real quick so you can see what that looks like. Len fruits print. So we have 5 items in our fruits list, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes sense, right? So let's go ahead and update our list. So we got for I in range len fruits, and we're gonna go ahead and do fruits, and we're gonna tell it which one we're updating. Remember, it's gonna start at 0 here. So apples is equal to fruits, and then we're going to do I again. So again, the 0 apples, and we want it to go to uppercase, upper, just like that. And then we'll come out of our for loop and print fruits real quick, run it. So we've got our new fruits list. Actually, let me print it up here too, print fruits. So you see we have it printing fruits, apples, bananas, grapes, oranges, kiwis, just the first letters capitalized, just like I have it typed into the list. And then we go down, run our for loop, and then we print fruits again. But this time it's all capitalized because of our for loop. We went and capitalized all the words in our list. And just for fun, let's go ahead and iterate through fruits in the for loop, so we can kind of see how it works. So the first, let me delete this out of here just to clarify things. So the first time we go through it, we're at 0 index, right? So the apples, 0, 0, converting it to upper, and we're printing it out. So we got apples, so it fixes apples and leaves the rest alone. The next time we're an index of 1, which is the bananas slot. You see bananas is capitalized, and apples is also capitalized because we capitalized it the first time we iterated through the loop. And then we got grapes, oranges, kiwis, and so on. The third time we iterate, we're in the second index position. So we got apples, bananas, grapes, and then oranges, kiwis, and so on. So hopefully you're seeing how it iterates through the loop, and basically it moves the index 1 digit each time because that's what we told it to do. And so that's what I wanted to cover on for loops in this video. Now you can get a little fancier and everything, but the core concepts and basics are covered here. So if you understand what we're talking about here, building on that knowledge will be pretty easy to do. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, I appreciate any sorts of likes, comments, subscribes, anything like that. And I hope that you have a great rest of the day.